Like, and part of the emotions though that, you mentioned in the beginning, to say nobody understands how I feel, or these emotions are the ones that I need to sort of subdue with the substance. Are those any emotions that, people feel, and I'm just thinking perhaps in COVID as well, that people can feel lonely, they can feel, sad, depressed, where it leads up to that, and then you have the addiction or the abuse, and then they feel guilty afterwards. So what are those sort of initial emotions that could possibly relate to people now?
Yeah, I think lots of people like use to cope with and just anxiety and feeling like they're lacking purpose. Like they have an anxious feeling. It's like a stimulus causes, or they're triggered in one way or another. Maybe that's by something external or just like an internal thought. And then I mean, it's much harder for people to sit down and say, I'm feeling anxiety. Like, anxiety is incredibly, discomforting. So to have somebody sit down, that's hard work. Like to sit down and sit still. Like I'm like, oh, I'll read a book or I'll go for a run or I'll clean something. Like to just sit and feel what you're feeling. And I know we talked in the last segment about allowing yourself to go through the motions, and we judge everything we feel. Like it's like we've gotten this memo somewhere along the lines that feeling anxiety is bad, or feeling anxiety means that you're a failure, or you're mentally ill, or something's wrong with you, when it's just anxiety is just um, a, a piece of the normal human curriculum, but we take it and we make it into something. So rather than befriending it and saying, I was just talking to a friend and I said, I've been practicing talking to my anxiety like it's like it's a little girl with poor communication skills. Like I'm asking it, what do you want? Why are you here? How can you express yourself to me? And to feel that kind of discomfort and to push through it, because on the other side is lots of insights on how to get to know yourself better, and also how you can navigate some things that have happened in your past that may still need processing. So I rather than running away from it, and this is way, way easier said than done. I don't want to send the message to anybody that sitting through your anxiety is a cakewalk or anything of that nature, because it's definitely not. And there can be a lot of pain and a lot of tears. But in those moments where we have anxiety come up or feeling, depressed, I really encourage people to like, what is this, what is this sadness, or what is this lack of purpose? What is this anxiety? Um, and use that as an opportunity to get to know yourself better. As an example, I had a clinical psychologist I saw for many years. She was amazing. I want to shout her name, but I'm not going to. But she used to always tell me, don't ever like drink wine, or if you're not feeling good. Like, I don't care if you drink wine or do whatever you need to do, or however you want to cope, because we're not here to judge. We're here to help people live healthy, manageable lives that they feel productive and proud of. That's the aim. But she would tell me, never drink wine when you're feeling sad. Sit with the sadness instead. When you feel happy and you feel calm and relaxed and grounded, that's when you're going to have a glass of wine. And so decipher that. So I would, have to really put some effort into like walking home after work, or I was in university at the time. So when I would finish my classes for the night and I'd be going home, I'd have to like, how am I feeling? I could go for a glass of wine, and then, okay, how am I feeling before I reach to that thing? And so that really helped me. And I even practice that now. If I'm not feeling good, then, that coping with that behavior is probably not going to create a pathway in my head that's healthy.
Oh, I just love that. What an insightful idea. That is
Right.
really, really amazing. And I'm thinking people can take it one step further, right? They can write it down, say, how am I feeling? And then you can track, I'm feeling and this is what I'm doing. I'm feeling and this is what I'm doing. So you can sort of have a running tally of how your emotions really influence your decisions and what you are doing, right?
Absolutely. And we're training ourselves how we're responding and how, how what behavior is okay in our lives. So it's like the more we do something, the more it sends a message to every cell in your body that this is how I respond to A, B, and C. So if you've been responding in a way that hasn't been healthy for a number of weeks, months, maybe through this whole pandemic, now is a turning point to say, I'm really going to try to make an effort from here on out, even when this shifts, to make decisions that are going to support where I'm trying to go, with my mental health and stuff, and just my overall coping strategies.
I love that. Absolutely. And I think also people should remember this might not be the last pandemic. This might not be the last trauma. There's still going to be real life things that happen after this. So, the life skills that we can obtain now, while we have the quiet, while we have the time, like you said, no judgment, but now is the perfect time. Get some of those skills because you are training your brain, you're training your emotions. You're being so mindful and aware of what you are so that in future, when things happen again, you can say, this is what I did in COVID. And that's why writing it down again, because both you and I are journalers. It's so important, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. This is an opportunity. I mean, every opportunity, but this is really an opportunity to set yourself up for some lasting behaviors that are really going to support you when you need them. And then when those emotions come up again, like you said, when, you know, other traumas or anxieties, you're going to say, I know this feeling and I know what's worked for me. Let me reflect on some of this, write some of it down, and let me hang left instead of, the right that I usually take.
I love that. That's amazing.